Every year, Detective Marlo Voss dreaded the arrival of her mail in December. Not because of bills or holiday obligations, but because of him. The sender who had haunted her for 2 decades. The one who knew what happened to Emily Hartford. December 23, 2004. Springfield, Massachusetts. Emily Hartford, a 19-year-old college student, vanished after leaving her part-time job at the local bookstore. She was last seen walking toward the parking lot at 9:47 p.m., her arms full of gift-wrapped books for her family. She never made it home. Her car was found the next morning in that same parking lot, keys in the ignition, engine running. The wrapped presents sat untouched in the passenger seat. But Emily? Gone. Detective Marlo Voss, then just 28 years old and new to the homicide division, was assigned to the case. Despite extensive searches, interviews with over 200 people, and countless leads, Emily Hartford simply vanished. The case went cold by spring. But then, that December, Marlo received the first card. Christmas 2005. 1 year after Emily's disappearance. Marlo found it in her mailbox at the police station. A vintage Christmas card, the kind you'd find at an antique store. On the front, a peaceful winter scene with a frozen pond. Inside, a typed message. Detective Voss, Merry Christmas. Emily loved to ice skate as a child. She would have been 20 today. A friend. Marlo's blood ran cold. Emily's birthday was December 24th. And the detail about ice skating? That was never public knowledge. Only family knew that. She immediately opened an investigation into the card. No fingerprints. Generic printer paper. The postmark? Springfield. Sent from somewhere within their own city. Every year after that, another card arrived. Each one containing a new detail about Emily. In 2006, Emily's favorite Christmas song was "I'll Be Home for Christmas." How ironic. She almost made it home that night. In 2007, did you know Emily had a silver locket? She wore it every day. You never found it, did you? In 2008, the bookstore had a security camera blind spot near the back exit. Convenient. Year after year, each card a taunt, each card a breadcrumb. Marlo became obsessed. She kept every card in a special evidence box, studying them late into the night. The sender knew intimate details, not just about Emily, but about the investigation itself. The security camera blind spot was something only the investigating team knew about. Could the sender be a cop? By 2015, Marlo had received 11 cards. She laid them out on her dining room table, searching for patterns. That's when she saw it. Each card revealed a specific type of information. Personal details about Emily, information about the crime scene, and oddly specific timestamps and locations. The 2014 card had been particularly chilling. 9:47 p.m., Emily leaves the bookstore. 9:52 p.m., someone speaks to her in the parking lot. 9:58 p.m., her car is still there, but Emily is gone. 11 minutes. That's all it took. The police had Emily leaving at 9:47 p.m. But the time gap between 9:52 and 9:58? That was new information. Information even Marlo didn't have. She pulled the original case file and went through every witness statement again. Then she found it buried in the notes. A nearby business's time-stamped delivery log. A truck had made a delivery to the strip mall at 9:58 p.m. The driver had noted in his log that a Honda was running in the lot, no one around. Emily's Honda. But at 9:52 p.m., according to a coffee shop receipt timestamp from a witness who'd left just before Emily, the car hadn't been running yet. Someone had spoken to Emily. Delayed her. Then sometime in those 6 minutes, she vanished. The sender wasn't just someone who knew Emily. The sender was there. December 2024. 20 years after Emily Hartford disappeared. Marlo, now 48 and a senior detective, reached into her mailbox with trembling hands. There was the 20th card. This one was different. The front showed a church at midnight. Inside, a longer message. Detective Voss, 20 years. You've been patient. So have I. You're close now, aren't you? You know it was someone she trusted. Someone who knew her routine. Someone who could approach her in that parking lot without alarm. Emily got into that car willingly, Marlo. She had no idea. Meet me at Riverside Cemetery, Emily's grave, December 24th, midnight. Come alone. It's time you knew everything. The one who was there. Marlo had a choice to make. This could be a trap. But after 20 years, she had to know. December 24th, 11:55 p.m. Marlo stood at Emily's grave, hand on her concealed weapon. The cemetery was silent except for falling snow. At exactly midnight, a figure emerged from the darkness. Marlo's breath caught. It was Margaret Hartford, Emily's mother. "Hello, Marlo," Margaret said quietly. "I'm sorry it took me 20 years." Marlo's mind raced. "You sent the cards?" "Margaret, what are you?" "I killed my daughter." Margaret explained through tears. Emily had discovered something that night, that her father, Margaret's husband, had been sexually abusing Emily's younger sister for years. Emily confronted Margaret, demanding she go to the police. But Margaret had spent 25 years building her perfect life. Her reputation. Her standing in the community. She couldn't let it fall apart. That night in the parking lot, Margaret convinced Emily to get in her car to talk things through. They drove to the riverside. Margaret had brought her husband's sleeping pills, crushed them into a thermos of hot chocolate. She told Emily they'd go to the police together after they talked. Emily drank it. Never suspected her own mother. When Emily lost consciousness, Margaret drove her to a construction site 40 miles away, a site that was paved over 2 days later. Emily's body was buried under a shopping center parking lot. "I sent you the cards," Margaret said, "because I couldn't live with it anymore. Every Christmas, remembering what I did. I wanted to be caught. But I was too cowardly to just confess. So I sent you breadcrumbs. Year after year. Hoping you'd figure it out." "Why now?" Marlo asked. "Why confess tonight?" Margaret smiled sadly. "Because my husband died 3 months ago. And Emily's sister finally told the truth about what he did. It's all coming out anyway. I spent 20 years protecting a monster, and I became one myself." Marlo arrested Margaret Hartford that night. Margaret was charged with first-degree murder and led investigators to Emily's burial site. Her remains were recovered in February 2025 and finally laid to rest properly. Emily's sister, now 34, found some measure of peace knowing the truth. As for Detective Marlo Voss, she never received another Christmas card. The Christmas card killer wasn't a stranger in the night. It was the person who should have protected Emily most. Sometimes, the monster isn't hiding in the shadows. Sometimes, it's sitting at the Christmas dinner table.
This is True Crime Moment, where real crime gives real chills.